What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy Kevin to on YouTube shit. Hey man, say man, we are lit the cheese man. Turn. Today, motherfucking day. You're hearing outside Big Crip and the gang shit, man. Free Palestine, fight hard, man. They trying to come all out, man. Palestine, fight, man. Congo, y'all turning the fuck up. Y'all ain't letting that shit slide. We like that Congo. Russia standing on big business. This shit getting crazy. Texas, you know we out here. We ready for what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We been ready. We know we standing on business out here in Texas. Each day is ready to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring that arch back. Never let somebody tell you are boss and put yourself in a position you don't belong. Stay humble. Let's get on the revolution, on this movement. Keep Yahweh first. You know what I'm saying? Come to the Black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. Alright? Boom. Today, it's motherfucking day. Straight outside Big Crip and the gang shit. Alright, gang. Man, first I want to say RP Young Scooter. He passed away. Died at 39. He was a legend to Atlanta, ATL. He was a rapper. Unfortunately, some shit happened, man. You know, what I've been hearing, they said he died from a leg injury. They said that he got shot by the police. They changed that up. They said he got shot by somebody else. They changed that up. Now what we hearing now is, was it a setup? They trying to say a jealous ass, hating ass female, and probably a hating ass nigga, to call the police and set him up at his bando, and he did the dash, and a whole bunch of bullshit happened. So we have the videos of what's going down. I hope y'all keep prayers of his family in mind and send prayers out to the people who passed away. Gang, so we got RP to Atlanta rapper Young Scooter, died on his birthday. Allegedly, the damn 12 pussy ass cops. Something about the cops had something to do with it. I don't know what happened.
Document two events this evening. The first being from the 200 block of William Nye Drive in Zone 3. Officers responded to a dispute with a weapon. It was advised in the call remarks that shots were fired and a female was dragged back into the location. Once officers arrived, they knocked on the door. A male opened the door and immediately shut the door on the officers. The officers then established a perimeter. During the process of establishing the perimeter, two males fled out of the rear of the house. One male returned back into the house. The other male jumped two fences as he was fleeing. When officers located him on the other side of the fence, he appeared to have suffered an injury to his leg. Officers rendered aid, and he was transported to Grady Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. That male is going to be a 39-year-old male out of Atlanta. Just to be very clear, the injury that was sustained was not via the officers on scene. It was when the male was fleeing. The second incident happened at Lucky Street and Mill Street.
The police one that showed up
this call came up around 6:35 p.m. When we had a group of individuals standing on a sidewalk. Our victim in this case approached the Mills. Some words were exchanged, which led to gunfire. The male that was shot is a 42-year-old male out of Charlotte, North Carolina. That male was transported to Grady Memorial Hospital.
Somebody got shot?
Where he is currently in ICU. not related in any shape or form. And that's what we have for you.
Can we confirm that it's a known rapper that goes by the name of Young Scooter, the 39-year-old live?
We cannot, at this point,
39? Young Scooter,
Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office once they notify the next of kin, so that we were premature on that.
And on the 42-year-old, you guys sent out a release originally.
Hey, you shot a 42-year-old? Damn, he was out there causing mayhem,
We
huh?
was able
Fuck 12.
to bring him back in the trauma room where he was taken to the operating room and is now in ICU.
So what was that?
Damn, he got shot. They in ICU? Atlanta, y'all just don't give a fuck, huh? These niggas got lives. Y'all, just because y'all think y'all the only people got lives. We, us black people got lives too.
One call of dispute with shots fired and a female being dragged back into the residence.
We got lives too,
Arrived.
pussies.
A male initially opened the door, closed the door on the officer's face without communicating completely. That's when the officers established a perimeter and the two males fled. Why they fled, obviously, we can't speak for them. So it's still an active investigation.
Was the woman concerned at all?
So we were not able to locate a female. We ended up with two males and the decedent.
Was the, if you said dispute, so it started in a car?
So they found two males?
Car that's
Outside of the residence.
outside the residence, and then a woman was drugged back into the.
That's what was reported. We have not been able to substantiate any of that, which is also a part of our investigation.
And then when he jumped over the fence from one victim.
That nigga was hopping fences. Hey, I did that for fun.
I guess did he shoot himself?
Jump that bitch quick.
No, there was no indication of anyone being shot. This appears that there was when he fell, some type of fracture injury to the leg, which caused the bleeding.
I mean, you can die from a leg shot, so your arteries
Correct. There's no.
can kill you. You know what I'm
In
saying?
neither one of
Even
these
with a leg
cases were
shot,
officers involved in shooting at all.
Will your agency be investigating everything internally, or do you?
So we do have, just because of the confusion, we have the GBI that's going to come out.
You know how sucky that is? You die from a leg injury from jumping a fence?
Okay.
GBI will come out.
Damn, 12, man.
Yeah, correct.
They chasing that nigga running for his
That one
life.
started with a 911 call of a dispute.
Correct.
That's why you guys got there, and then
Dispute, shots fired, woman being drugged back into the residence.
then just to add confusion to it. But let's switching back to
So that must be the other one.
Street.
Mhm.
42-year-old from Charlotte.
North Carolina.
Not Charlotte.
Yeah, no, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Any idea if he was in town for the NCAA tournament or
We do not believe so.
if he's going to make it?
He's in intensive care unit, hopefully.
And I assume he knew the people, or did he know the people?
Due to his condition, we haven't been able to speak to him. But from the video that we have, we do know that there was communication between him and the two groups.
And the people who shot him, are they in custody or still on the run?
They're still on the run.
Is there any statement you want to make to? I mean, obviously, there's already multiple reports out there across social media, some news magazines saying, again, young scooter has been shot by Atlanta police. Just an opportunity because many people are taking this, they're watching this.
Right.
Is there anything you want to say? Those reports are out there.
No, and this is why we're here doing this press conference to put out there that the Atlanta Police Department has not been involved in any shootings tonight, and the incident on William Nye, there was not a shooting at all. All right.
So I guess people were trying to say that he got shot. And
I'm back with another video. Let's get into it. Atlanta rapper Young Scooter, real name Kenneth Bailey, died today after running from the police. Police said they received a call of a dispute and shots was fired. When they arrived, a male pulled a woman back inside of a home. Two males took off running. One jumped the gate.
So somebody did get shot.
Contact, his leg was injured. He was transported to the hospital and died from his injuries. The police said there was no situation where anyone was shot by the police, and it seems the victim died from the injuries he received from jumping the gate. And another thing, as y'all see, it was two separate incidents that happened. And one was with a 42-year-old man that approached some kids on the sidewalk, or some young adults on the sidewalk. we know for a fact that was not Young Scooter because Young Scooter is 39. So we know the first story that he reported on was about Young Scooter, the 39-year-old. And it was also Young Scooter's birthday today. Now, I do want to say this. They said they got a call up a dispute and shots was fired. He could have been shot, and the police just think it's an injury from the gate. Or
so somebody got shot. The police was called.
And hit a main artery in his leg and died. I ain't gonna lie to you. After watching that press conference, it seems like they don't really know what happened.
They don't.
And then they say they can't even find the woman that the guy dragged back inside. Now, I don't know if Young Scooter was the guy that dragged the lady back inside. They never made that clear. This situation right here is a confusing and tragic one. I can't believe this, man. A legend, Atlanta legend, man, lost his life today.
Damn, I ain't never heard of him like that.
Jumping the gate. This shit crazy.
That's wild.
It's crazy, man.
Jumping the gate.
It's not far-fetched, man.
It's not.
Y'all do know that if you hit a main artery,
in your arm,
you can bleed out.
Yeah, your arm and your leg, any of your body part.
So it's not far-fetched.
Yeah, crip.
But we need more information.
Damn, hell of more information.
And y'all already know, man. When I get more information, I'm going to give it to you.
That's wild.
This one right here is just mind-blowing, kid. It's just mind-blowing because Young Scooter been staying out the way for so long that he dropped a mixtape last year and didn't even promote it because he been so low-key and out the way. Like, you haven't heard his name in no drama or nothing. But I just recently reported on the situation where Rollo mentioned his name and he told Rollo to keep his name out his mouth, like why he's speaking on him on the internet. But other than that, Young Scooter been out of sight, out of mind. This shit crazy, man. But when I get more information, and y'all already know, I'm gonna bring it to you. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on all post notifications. It's free. Do it for me. Listen, dog. Please start calling my phone. You see what's going on the same way I see what's going on. And nigga, this shit do not feel good at all. My brother just got killed. And I can't even go slide.
You gotta talk about Rollo sooner than later, my boy.
Me, his mama, his real
you ain't out the motherfucking
real core family. Like before a rap song, before $1 came, nigga, we family. I don't want to hear that shit. Talking about no interviews. I don't want to do no fucking interviews. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to chill. Then I gotta go on.
He do look familiar though. Young Scooter do look familiar.
I ain't shit, but I gotta smile for these motherfucking cameras.
But I never listened to him. I ain't gonna catch y'all.
I don't want to kick it, bro. Stop calling me, bro.
I love you so much. I hate this happened on your birthday, C-Day type shit. Junk Lane, bro. Get rest, uncle. You're the realest people I know. I love you so much.
Good evening and thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Jennifer Bellamy. We are following breaking news right now in the city of Atlanta, where just minutes ago, Atlanta police held a news conference about the death of a 39-year-old man, Kenneth Bailey, also known as rapper Young Scooter. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn is live for us tonight right outside of Atlanta Police Headquarters. Cody, you just stepped out of that briefing from police. A lot going on tonight. What have you learned?
Well, Jennifer, the main thing we want to set straight here, the lieutenant over homicide with Atlanta police saying they did not, in fact, shoot Young Scooter. They say there were no shots fired during this ordeal tonight on William Nye Drive. I believe we have a live look at that scene.
Anybody can die from anything out here.
What Atlanta police say did happen this evening is that they were responding to a call from a home there on William Nye Drive. involving a disturbance with weapons. As officers got on scene, they got reports that there was a woman involved in this, possibly shots fired, and that she was taken back into the home. However, at this hour, they cannot find that woman. What they did find in the home were two male suspects. One of those males returned from the home after running away. That second suspect never returned, and we're told as he was making his way from that home, he actually jumped 2 fences. It was during one of those jumps he landed and somehow broke a leg. Some were hearing initial reports it was a femur. Again, we don't know the details of exactly the injuries, but tonight the medical examiner says a cause and manner of death have not been confirmed. But again, this is now confirmed to be Bailey, a based rapper here in Atlanta known as Young Scooter. While there are reports coming in from across the country tonight that Atlanta police shot this rapper, they say that is in fact not true. And the GPI has been requested to that scene that you're looking at, William Nye Drive, to give a third-party investigation. But again, there's a lot of confusion tonight with this story. APD responded to that involving a weapons dispute. At some point, they had a report shots were fired, and again, a woman might have been taken in the home. When officers got there, they did not find that. They say those 2 men ran from the home. One returned to that house. The other one, who was Young Scooter, again, jumped 2 fences, and during that run over those fences, he fell, and what we heard originally was fractured or broke his femur. He was rushed to Grady, where he died there in the ER. So again, a lot to still uncover on this situation, but Atlanta police wanted to make it very clear tonight. They are saying their officers did not fire a weapon, and that Young Scooter died as he was fleeing from that scene on William Nye Drive. Of course, for his family, a heartbreaking situation and a very active investigation going on out there, not only with Atlanta police, but also with the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. They will do an independent investigation and release those findings in the coming weeks or months. But Jennifer, a busy night in Atlanta. And of course, this news hitting the industry, music industry, very hard as news is spreading across the country about Young Scooter's death reportedly on his 39th birthday.
All right, Cody Alcorn reporting for us tonight on a complicated situation there. Thank you so much.
So what I've been hearing is Young Scooter was getting set up to get killed on his C-Day. What y'all think, man? Y'all think they was trying to set him up to kill him?
When the family feels, guest hanging out with us today from the squad, Brick Squad. That's right, Scooter.
Shout out to the family.
Trap OG, Young Scooter. What's up, Scooter? What's going on with Scooter? What's Scooter been on?
Man, same old shit, man. Working.
Said it's working. We had to track your ass down. We got to get you on big, man. We come and keep spots off and shit.
I told Bank Screen, I said, he called me, he said, well, we got to get you down. I said, man, I've been running for you.
Work, street, work. Little Mexico, pushing bricks from the east to the west coast.
Now, I don't really listen to Young Scooter. I ain't gonna cap to y'all, but it sucks.
It's gonna be blocking lanes 4 and the exit ramp. 17s are gonna leave room for you going around us. Once you get here, we'll take one more lane for you.
Gotcha. We're right about half a mile out.
This the police, I guess, talking about what's going on.
I'll give the person a call.
Man, we living in dangerous time, man. They can set you up real easy
Just never
around
know
this
when your time gonna come. And here it is today. We're talking about a man who was celebrating his birthday. Now, fam, I'm gonna say this out the gate. Some people might believe this story and some people might not. But I'm only here to present what's being presented to the public. Now, you hear reports that the Atlanta rapper, Young Scooter, lost his life by an officer. But after doing my homework, it seemed that wasn't the case. As people just run into the internet with the first narrative they hit. It seemed like this man, who we'll later discuss and pay our respects to and go over his career, had lost his life by running from the police on his birthday. And it seemed, according to what's being presented to the public, he didn't die from a gunshot wound. He died from a leg injury, running away, hopping fences. Now, not much being presented, but I got the 911 calls. And I also got the police report. So before we go over this one, as we pay our respects and go over these details, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. It's sad news to know, man, you can lose your life on your birthday. Well, unfortunately, that was the case for Kenneth Bailey. Born March 28th, 1986, also known by his rap stage name as Young Scooter. He was an American rapper from Atlanta, Georgia. Some say he's best friends with the Atlanta rapper Future. He's also a part of his label Free Bands. In 2012, the following year, he signed with Waka Flocka Flame's Brick Squad Monopoly, the imprint of Gucci Mane's 1017 Records. He gained national recognition for his collaboration with rappers, as well as his mixtape with Street Lottery in 2012 with the lead single, Columbia. The song did so well and managed to have a remix with Birdman, Rick Ross, and Gucci Mane.
Okay, I kind of do remember this nigga low key.
And Juice WRLD song in 2018 made his first entry on the Billboard Hot 100. Like Young Scooter verse, he referenced to himself as the Jug King. Some reference to Young Scooter as the real Atlanta. Nowadays, Young Scooter seldomly raps. He embraced being a father and scouting talent. Now, Young Scooter was born in Walterboro, South Carolina, but when he was 9, his family moved to the Kirkwood community, aka Little Mexico of Atlanta, Georgia. In 2008, after he was charged with drug trafficking, he decided to start pursuing a rap career with his childhood friend and Atlanta rapper, Future. He was arrested for probation violation during a traffic stop in DeKalb County in Georgia in April 8th, 2013. He shared a jail cell with frequent collaborator Gucci Mane, who was arrested for probation violation on April 12th, 2013. Young Scooter spent 6 months in custody before being released in mid-October 2013. On March 2nd, 2015, Young Scooter was released off probation, and his career would take off. And Young Scooter beat the odds, and he noticed that even 10 years ago. In an hour-plus interview he did with Vlad TV, he talked about having over 20 friends died in the streets. Check out that one segment of that hour-plus interview.
You said that your daddy is a user. Oh yeah, that's how I grew up, man. so that's true.
At least Vlad pull up his receipts and not just say some
shit. True. Everything about it true. You see what it say? Crack baby, man. You see what I say? If my daddy smoked dope, that make you a crack baby. So that's it. You gotta just listen to all my music, like 80s baby. Seriously, like a lot of folks wonder, like,
no, what I think is a crack baby.
But it's real.
If your mama smoking crack while she inside of you, that's a crack
and having your dad use.
Crack baby, crack baby.
I don't really know because I ain't never had one, so I really couldn't tell you. Like, I just go with the flow, but I just know it's hard. Like, you ain't gonna make it too far. Like, you'll be in trouble. Like, some kids really don't, but like, the majority, like 90% out of 100, most of them gonna be locked up or just hustling. Without no daddy, that's all you got, because you're gonna be out there wandering in the streets.
I always say no daddy. What if you don't have no mom? You know what I'm saying? Because it go both ways.
If you ain't, then you know you all
both
out.
ways, man.
You just TTG, you just train to go. You just do anything. But fortunately for me, I ain't never had no daddy, so I just did anything anyway.
Like, how often would you see your father, when you were young?
In the period, I ain't really seen him about once or twice a year. I've been going years without seeing my dad, so you know what I'm saying? I don't even dwell on that.
I mean, that's a statistic, not like that, but that's, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you. So, I mean, growing up in this type of environment, like, how old were you when you first started getting involved in street business?
About 13, 14 years old.
13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember
Scooter, man.
What got you into it initially?
Just being around and living in that atmosphere. Like, when you living in the streets and you can't move out the hood, then that's all you know, then that's what it's going to be.
That's a fact.
It ain't going to be like, I wish I could play football or basketball. Like, I wish that's the route I would have took in the streets and do this, but you know what I'm saying?
If that don't work out,
I do everything for a reason. I'm still breathing, so that's how I eat rap, so that's what I'm going with, I I mean, a lot of kids get into it because they
Man,
have
these
to
niggas,
support their
car
families.
alarm been going off for the
Yeah,
last
was that the case for
hour
you?
or two.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Their car gonna be drained by the time they get back.
Like, I got 2 kids, so you know how that is. 2 kids, you gonna have to do whatever, anything for profit. You gotta have your kids need a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, we talked about last time. You know that you were friends with Doe B before he got killed. Like, if you look back on your life, how many friends do you think you've lost? You know, from violence. Man, it's a lot. Like more than 20. Just a lot, man. 20? I say like probably. I just say like my close people, not that many, but like just people I know. It's a good bit. Like not like my inner circle. Like I really ain't lost none. But like the
people that you came
people
around
I just know a lot.
Yeah.
How many close friends do you think? I mean, not do you think, but how many of your actual close friends that you still talk to, you know, are in prison right now doing long bids? I say about 20. 20 people. Yeah. 20 people. What's
so 20
what's
people
the
in prison,
bid
20 people
right now
died.
close to?
You know they died.
40. 40 years. Yeah.
I believe Atlanta crazy.
You don't have to say any names, but what did this person get 40 years doing? No, he just like took an aggravated assault to trial and got 40 years. How old was he when he went in? When he got that 40 years? Probably about 18, 19. So you're talking about someone getting out.
Sadly, just 10 years after that interview downtown Atlanta, which happens to be just blocks away from State Farm Arena, where the Sweet 16 of the NCAA college basketball tournament was underway, Atlanta police around 6:45 got a disturbance of domestic violence. Apparently, young Scooter, 39 years old, was one of 2 suspects. They were pursuing after a call. Caller also mentioned that weapons were involved. Young Scooter and the other suspect ran from the home on William Nye Drive. APD say one suspect returned to the house, but young Scooter continued to run. And it was while he was running from the police, he had jumped 2 sets of fences. That somehow he injured his leg.
What's going
was
on?
rushed to Grady where he died. The GBIGA has been requested to investigate.
That's where
Atlanta police officers said no officers fired their
area.
weapons during the pursuit of young Scooter. But it was initially reported that he broke
So
a
he must
bone
have
in
jumped
his
on and get
leg.
them
But I guess
wood
we'll only
fences.
find out once they release the autopsy.
I'm Jennifer Bellamy. We are following breaking news right now in the city of Atlanta, where just minutes ago, Atlanta police held a news conference about the death of a 39-year-old man, Kenneth Bailey, also known as rapper Young Scooter. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn is live for us tonight right outside of Atlanta Police Headquarters. Cody, you just stepped out of that briefing from police. A lot going on tonight. What have you learned?
Well, Jennifer, the main thing we want to set straight here, the lieutenant over homicide with Atlanta police saying they did not, in fact, shoot young Scooter. They say there were no shots fired during this ordeal tonight on William Nye Drive. I believe we have a live look at that scene right now. What Atlanta police say did happen this evening is that they were responding to a call from a home there on William Nye Drive involving a disturbance with weapons. As officers got on scene, they got reports that there was a woman involved in this, possibly shots fired, and that she was taken back into the home. However, at this hour, they cannot find that woman. What they did find in the home were 2 male suspects. One of those males returned from the home after running away. That second suspect never returned, and we're told as he was making his way from that home, he actually jumped 2 fences. It was during one of those jumps he landed and somehow broke a leg. Some were hearing initial reports it was a femur. Again, we don't know the details of exactly the injuries, but tonight the medical examiner says a cause and manner of death have not been confirmed. But again, this is now confirmed to be Bailey, a based rapper here in Atlanta known as Young Scooter. While there are reports coming in from across the country tonight that Atlanta police shot this rapper, they say that is in fact not true, and the GBI has been requested to that scene that you're looking at, William Nye Drive, to give a third-party investigation. But again, to walk you through, there's a lot of confusion tonight with this story. APD responded to that home involving a weapons dispute.
At some point, they got a report shots were fired, and again, a woman might have been taken in the home. When officers got there, they did not find that. They say those two men ran from the home. One returned to that house. The other one, who was young Scooter, again, jumped 2 fences, and during that run over those fences, he fell, and what we heard originally was fractured or broke his femur. He was rushed to Grady, where he died there in the ER. So again, a lot to still uncover on this situation, but Atlanta police wanted to make it very clear tonight. They are saying their officers did not fire a weapon, and that young Scooter died as he was fleeing from that scene on William Nye Drive. Of course, for his family, a heartbreaking situation and a very active investigation going on out there, not only with Atlanta police, but also with the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. They will do an independent investigation, release those findings in the coming weeks or months. But Jennifer, a very busy night in Atlanta, and of course, this news hitting the industry, music industry, very hard as news is spreading across the country about young Scooter's death.
And of course, you can expect an update soon, like why young Scooter was there, who exactly called 911, and why they had to brandish firearms on his birthday. Nonetheless, it's very unfortunate that he lost his life. And if what Atlanta police is saying is true, the fact he lost his life running from authorities due to a bone injury, it's even more crazy. I'm sending 11 prayers to his family. Once again, rest in peace to young Scooter. Fam, this was the story of an Atlanta rapper who lost his life on his birthday, man, after authorities got a call of a disturbance at a local Atlanta home where he was one of 2 suspects who ran away. And unfortunately, he lost his life in the process. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today, I'll catch you guys.
So they trying to say his death was caused by a mad, jealous female, which is reasonable. These females will get you killed. They will set you up. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got enough female or if you're not fucking with them. They would most definitely get you killed.
Saturday afternoon on his birthday, reports came out that he was shot by the police. APD did a press conference and said young Scooter was not shot by Atlanta police. In fact, Atlanta police never fired a shot and was never in a situation where shots needed to be fired.
Settup is always around the corner. Nigga, I thought I was set up.
Shots fired.
I've been set up. I'm talking
drug in the house by a male.
This being from the 200 block of William Nye Drive in Zone 3, officers responded to a dispute with a weapon. It was advised in the call remarks that shots were fired and a female was dragged back into the location.
Chastain Washington, some may know her as Big Bang Danny. She also went viral a while back for a crazy breakup with famous YouTuber Corey Pritchett.
You really need to pray. You the one that really need to pray. So y'all want to know the real reason why we got that?
Right, they broke up.
Internet. Danny is this rich scammer that always lied.
Wait, they broke
those
up.
accusations have been proven. She's rich, but the scamming and the lies.
Damn, I stopped watching this shit. What happened?
To prove she scammed.
That's the female.
And I said all that to say this. What she says in this post, we have to take with a grain of salt. And that's for everybody that put stuff on the internet. We don't know these people. And we don't know this stuff to be true.
Insane.
Just because it sounds true doesn't make it true. But her statement that she took to Facebook and said does confirm what the police said.
That's the bitch that's going on with Corey.
Everyone was saying he was shot by the police. Then it came out that he died from a leg injury running from the police. Danny reposted a Real Stop post that said he died due to a leg injury. And she said, "Thank you. The real story has finally come out." Even Scooter's son KB said the bloggers was lying when everyone was posting that young Scooter was shot by the police. Now, Danny also said a female caller falsely claimed to be a hostage, prompting police to search the residence. The incident was unrelated to narcotics. Scooter was unaware of the police reason for visiting. He fled, and authorities later acknowledged that no woman was present. I seen so many posts stating that he ran because he did something wrong, and he actually didn't know what was really going on at the time. And I do want to say this. Listening to the police press conference, that's the first thing that came to mind. That either a mad female made a false call, or one of these guys that was hating on Scooter made a false call and said it was was shots fired and there was a dispute.
Yeah, so they just set up by the police.
I really feel like maybe this house was a trap house or it was illegal stuff inside the house. So like the police said, when they came and knocked on the door, a guy opened the door, seen it was the police, closed it, and they ran out the back door. 9 times out of 10, they ran out the back door with whatever they had that they didn't want the police to see or find. That's my guess. They ran out the back door, got rid of it. One guy came back, scooter, kept running and jumping gates. Now, a doctor weighed in on this situation, and he did say, you can die from breaking your femur bone. And I actually looked it up yesterday and seen the same thing, where you can die from fracturing your femur bone.
I've been said by niggas and bitches. They all the same. You know what I'm saying?
Edge on it, it can puncture.
If they got it out for you, they would try to do anything.
Next to your femur bone. But
call the police, drugs, bitches.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation is now calling the death of Atlanta rapper Young Scooter an in-custody death. His real name, Kenneth Edward Bailey, and he was originally from South Carolina, but built his music career right here in Atlanta. Ariana Manise joins us live from GBI headquarters, where questions still remain about how he died after a police pursuit. And Ariana, we spoke with a doctor who says while this fatal injury is rare, it is possible.
That's right, Dan. Atlanta police, they made it clear that no officer fired any shots during that pursuit after Young Scooter. The only injury mentioned was to his leg when Young Scooter fell while running from officers. Young Scooter died Friday night in southeast Atlanta on Lakewood Avenue. In that neighborhood, officers responded to a 911 call about a dispute with a weapon. Police say when they arrived, 2 men ran from the back of the home. One of them was Young Scooter. He jumped 2 fences before police caught up with him and saw he had suffered a very serious leg injury. Doctors say a fractured femur can be life-threatening if it severs an artery. Take a listen.
Well, the femoral artery is quite large, and it could, if you broke your femur and it broke badly enough, the ends of the femur fracture could be sharp enough to cut the artery.
Now the GBI and the medical examiner's office will determine the exact fatal injury that killed Young Scooter. An autopsy will help answer some very key questions that still linger about his death as the GBI continues to investigate.
Now, I had to look it up because it's a lot of people in the comments saying, it's no way he died from breaking his leg and etc. They just don't believe it. But this, I had to look it up because I didn't know, and it just goes back to we have to educate ourselves. Like, one thing that us as people do, just because we have no knowledge of it or we don't know about it, we always denounce it. And that's something that I always try to tell people. But that still don't mean it wasn't a setup. Just because you haven't heard of it, just because you don't know, doesn't mean it's not true. It doesn't mean it can't happen. And like I said, I didn't know this either. So I looked it up, and it says, yes, a femur fracture can potentially damage or rupture a major artery, especially the femoral artery. Any injury severe enough to break your femur may also damage your femoral artery. This can cause a fatal amount of blood loss if a healthcare provider doesn't treat it immediately. And that probably explains why it says he died in police custody. Because once he ran and they made contact with him, the first thing they're going to do is arrest him. Now he's in police custody because he have a charge now. Resisting arrest without violence. He fled the scene while they was conducting the investigation. So while they arresting him, he's bleeding out and he dies while he's arrested. So he technically did die in police custody. Y'all already know, man, this is still a developing story. You know, people is just not gonna believe what they don't want to believe. They need to see proof. They need to see body cam footage. And his son even said, like, when people was posting that he was shot, his son said bloggers is posting fake news. Big Bang Daddy said it was cap. He didn't get shot. This is people that's close to him. So, you know what I'm saying? We can believe what we want to believe, and like I said, this is still ongoing story. So as we get more updates, y'all already know I'm gonna get it to you, man. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on all post notifications. It's free.
Hey, shout out to Nino Brown, man. He speaks a lot about what's going on in the community and shit. Let's get to it.
Yesterday was Young Scooter's birthday. Turned 39 years old. Well, he dead on his birthday. It was reported that Young Scooter was gunned down by the APD. The APD came out and said this.
The officers responded to a dispute with a weapon. It was advised in the call remarks that shots were fired and a female was dragged back into the location. Once officers arrived, they knocked on the door.
So somebody lied.
And immediately shut the door on the officers. The officers then established a perimeter. During the process of establishing the perimeter, 2 males fled out of the rear of the house. 1 male returned back into the house. The other male jumped 2 fences as he was fleeing. When officers located him on the other side of the fence, he appeared to have suffered an injury to his leg. Officers rendered aid, and he was transported.
We're living through dangerous times, man.
Grady Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased.
But I just made a phone call out there to to figure out what's going on with Young Scooter. How did he die on his birthday? And this is what I found out. Young Scooter was at a house that had narcotics in it, some kind of trap house. A female called the authorities and said she was being held against her will. Well, allegedly, Young Scooter ain't even know that the police was coming to figure out what's going on with this call they just got about this female being held hostage.
So the bitch set him up.
When they got there, it wasn't no female in the residence, but they ain't looked for the female. When they came in there, they identified that it was narcotics inside the house. Scooter took off running. When he took off running, he jumped the fence. When he jumped the fence, he popped his femoral artery in his leg. That artery will bleed out and cause you to die if you don't get immediate treatment, because that artery is connected to your heart. It's one of the main arteries in your leg. That's how Scooter died. The APD ain't shoot Scooter, man. The APD ain't got nothing. He just took off running because he didn't know what was going on. He was unaware that the police was coming. And in fact, when the police did their research, they realized that there wasn't even no female in the house. So Scooter was set up. That's how Young Scooter died.
Damn, a hating ass nigga and a hating ass bitch.
39 years old, ain't even lived to see 40
He was
years
set
old, man.
the fuck up.
So many rappers that we grew up on either dying or going to jail, man.
Hey,
If
which
they
one be
going to
Quan?
jail, they don't die looking like Pookie or Ezell, man. Look at Kodak Black and all the rest of them, man. They don't die. They fiend die. They dying. We ain't got even no more hip-hop artists to listen to, man. What's going on in the streets, man? Rest in peace to Young Scooter. Young Scooter wasn't gunned down by the APD. I'm still waiting on the footage to fit. I need a body cam or something to see what's going on, what really happened. But the streets telling me that's what happened. 12 busted in the trap and seen dope everywhere. And Scooter take off like y'all ain't finna get me, man. And that's what happened. He went to hop in the fence. And you know they got the sticker birders on the fence. His leg, the main artery in his leg, got caught up in the sticker birdie on the fence. And it popped. And if you don't get immediate attention when you pop that main artery in your leg, that femoral artery, your ass gonna die. You gonna bleed out, man. That's why when y'all said Sauce Walker set up his artist, Say So P.
Yeah.
Insurance claim.
Nigga, tell your legs to die.
He gonna get the money. Yeah, let me tell you something. Ain't nobody doing that, because I'm gonna tell you why.
Yep.
If you get hit in your leg, wrong artery, your ass dead.
You can die from a leg shot, nigga. What they talking about,
Make
nigga?
sure y'all comment below. Y'all like this video. Y'all make sure y'all share this video.
Yeah, man,
So many
getting
folks now
for extra 500K.
APD unalive Young Scooter. They ain't unalive Scooter. Scooter ain't even know they were coming. He was set up by a female that was saying she was held hostage, but when they went and looked at there, wasn't even no female in there, man. It was a lie. They set Young Scooter up on his birthday. Rest in peace, Young Scooter.
Damn. Shout out to KB Goes Live.
Just a strange situation. So police say that they were called out here for a shots fired call, but when they got here, they didn't find any evidence of a shooting. So The situation that we're hearing about, we're hearing that a 39-year-old man, Kenneth Bailey, is dead. That's according to the medical examiner, and a loved one on the scene is the one who confirmed that that was rapper Young Scooter.
All right, so today we got Young Scooter in the news after he passed away last night on his 39th birthday while running from the police in Atlanta. This news started breaking last night, but it started breaking with a lot of misinformation included, right? I seen a lot of blogs, a lot of news sites posting saying
that he got shot.
Scooter was shot and killed by the police. That's the narrative a lot of people were running with. As of today, it looks like that is not actually the true story behind this. However, his death still remains suspicious and mysterious, to say the least, right? Like, a lot of things just ain't adding up about this story right here. So Young Scooter
so did he get killed by the scammer who was dating Corey
last night when police received a phone call about shots being fired and a woman being drugged back into a house at 273 William Nye Drive on the southeast part of Atlanta. When police arrived on the scene, they said that a man opened the door, and when he realized it was the cops, he quickly slammed it in their face before him and another man fled out of the rear of the home. One of the men that were running actually turned around and returned back to the house, but Young Scooter decided he was going to continue running, and he made the decision to jump over 2 fences while he was fleeing. Officers said when they located him on the other side of the fence, he appeared to have suffered an injury to his leg. The police rendered aid to him, had him loaded up and transported to the hospital, where he would inevitably pass away from his injury. These are the official details that the police told to the press.
Police say they were called by someone saying they heard shots and then saw a woman being pulled into a home. Well, when police arrived, they say they didn't find a woman, but they did have a man open the door to that home and then close it in the officer's face. A lieutenant tells us 2 men then ran out the back door. The officers say that one of the men returned to the house, but the other one, Young Scooter, jumped 2 fences, and that's when he was fatally hurt.
Right, so this is where the story got a little bit of confusion included, because pretty quickly we started to hear reports and people saying that while Young Scooter was running from the cops, one of them had to have opened fire. They probably hit him in the leg, and that's what killed him. Which, I mean, that would make sense, except for the problem is that the police swear to God that that's not what happened.
I don't know, man.
His injury was a self-sustained injury, something that he did to himself while he was jumping the fences. And even though people were running with that narrative, there were videos coming out from people that were on the scene when this went down, literally standing there talking to the police, with the police saying that that's not what happened.
Police did not shoot Scooter, man. Police did not shoot Scooter, man.
Okay, so they ain't shooting.
Still alive. Detectives just told us. Don't believe the blogs. Detectives just told us.
That's why I wait, man.
And they say the police ain't killed him, man. That's wrong info. Wrong info, man.
What are you doing out here?
I don't know what he was doing out here, man.
That is so false, man.
That's like the opposite of what happened.
Yeah.
Man. First off,
we
the detectives look like the type of detectives you would see in a Looney Tunes cartoon, but you can hear the detective say there that, you know, people claiming that Scooter was shot are just wrong, that that's the opposite of what actually went down. And this is something that would be further corroborated by a lieutenant of the Atlanta Police Department, Lieutenant Andrew Smith, in a press conference that he held last night. A press conference, like I said, where he denied that Young Scooter was shot by the police, but like very awkwardly doesn't really give any extra detail about what might have happened. It's a really weird press conference. Y'all watch it.
Smith, Atlanta Homicide Commander. We're here to discuss 2 events this evening. The first being from the 200 block of William Nye Drive in Zone 3. Officers responded to a dispute with a weapon. It was advised in the call remarks that shots were fired and a female was dragged back into the location.
So was no female.
Once officers arrived,
no bitch got shot.
On the door.
It was another dude who got shot.
And immediately shut
but he
the
was
door
somewhere else.
on the officers. The officers then established a perimeter. During the process of establishing the perimeter, 2 males fled out of the rear of the house. One male returned back into the house. The other male jumped 2 fences as he was fleeing. When officers located him on the other side of the fence, he appeared to have suffered an injury to his leg. Officers rendered aid, and he was transported to Grady Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. That male is going to be a 39-year-old male out of Atlanta. Just to be very clear, the injury that was sustained was not via the officers on scene. It was when the male was fleeing, and that's what we have for you.
What was the discussion? What led to the 39-year-old having to flee from police? Can you give us a little bit more detail? Because it just seems, what exactly led to him running away?
So, again, there was a 911 call of a dispute with shots fired and a female being dragged back into the residence. When officers arrived, a male initially opened the door, closed the door on the officer's face without communicating completely. That's when the officers established a perimeter, and the 2 males fled. Why they fled, obviously, we can't speak for them. So it's still an active investigation.
Was the woman injured at all?
So we were not able to locate a female. We ended up with 2 males and the decedent.
Was the, and you said the dispute it started in a car, a moving car? The dispute
No, outside of the
residence, and then a woman was drugged back into the...
That's what was reported. We have not been able to substantiate any of that, which is also a part of our investigation.
And then when he jumped over the fence from one victim, what wound would, I guess, did he shoot himself?
No, there was no indication of anyone being shot. This appears that there was, when he fell, some type of fracture injury to the leg, which caused the bleeding.
And to clarify, this wasn't any involvement with the Atlanta police as far as shooting?
Correct. There's no, in neither one of these cases were officers involved in shooting at all.
That one started with a 911 call of a dispute.
Correct.
That's why you guys got there, and then...
Dispute, shots fired, woman being drugged back into the residence.
So that was a lie.
The Atlanta Police Department has not been involved in any shootings
tonight. There was no woman or somebody got shot at that bitch. The police just ran up on them.
Alright, so that was pretty much the full press conference about what went down. But it's strange because you can hear him say that they got a phone call. Somebody called the police and reported shots fired. If y'all remember the news clip from earlier that we watched, they said when police showed up, they could find no evidence of shots being fired.
It's just a strange situation.
So he said someone was shot fired, but
called out here for a shots fired call, but when they got here, they didn't find any evidence of a shooting.
Apparently on this phone call, whoever called them claimed that there was a woman being drugged back into the house. In that press conference, you could hear that guy say that they didn't even find a woman on the scene.
So we were not able to locate a female. We ended up with 2 males and the decedent.
For some reason, whatever reason, they claim that young Scooter just decided to run. When he was asked about why young Scooter would run, he's pretty much like, man, I don't know. So he's acting like there was no interaction between him and young Scooter at all, aside from young Scooter shutting the door on them. And a lot of the
why don't get the police see who was chasing him to talk what happened?
You know, it's weird. It's strange, for sure. But as of right now, that's the details that we have about what went down. They're claiming that it was some kind of fracture. You can hear one news reporter ask, did he shoot himself? Because I know some people were thinking maybe he shot himself in the leg. The policeman says, nah, nobody shot anybody. There was no shooting at all. And I mean, I did look into it. If you suffer a fracture to your thigh, you do have arteries in your thighs.
You can't die from my leg shot or your artery getting cut.
That he bled out, which leads me to believe maybe he broke something, hit an artery. And
but I can tell you, these police don't give a fuck.
Who knows?
You know what I'm saying? probably let the nigga die on the ground.
But in response
you know
to
what I'm
all this,
saying?
we
Wait
did
for that nigga to die.
have young
You know what I'm saying?
Scooter's son actually speak out about this, and he went on Instagram and he posted this, and it says, "Off APD, the Atlanta Police Department." He said, "Police or not, y'all ain't have no understanding about nothing. You pull straight up, ain't give a F about no handcuffs on me. I just wanted to make sure you good. That's all I kept asking, and they whole ass kept lying. Damn, my best friend gone. Happy birthday too. I know exactly what to do for sure though. You know I got my sisters and brothers. They overly good. Your son a hustler just like you. Watch this." And I found that statement interesting because he's very clearly blaming the Atlanta Police Department for what went down. He continued, he said, "I promise I'm gonna get back to y'all. Thank y'all. I'm just trying to stay off this social media-ish because we got lame-ass blogs lying and man, I don't even want to see none of this stuff. I'm broken into a million pieces. I don't wish this pain."
That's why I wait to see what really going down because niggas be lying just to get the moment.
Right, and rest in peace to young Scooter, man. I feel for his family right about now. I know that they're going through it. All last night, he was on Instagram reposting stories of people wishing him a happy birthday. He was only 39. Trying to imagine being a 39-year-old healthy man and dying because you jump a fence is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Especially when the details about what happened are as murky as they are in this story right here. But one last thing I want to hit on is Rollo, right? Young Scooter and Rollo, they got a long, lengthy history together. Here recently, they kind of have been going back and forth. They've been involved in a feud. Just in the last year, we've seen them go back and forth to the point where Rollo pretty much asked young Scooter to just get in a room solo with him so they could run the fade. Scooter had responded to him saying real ones don't fight each other. It's already a certain respect. If you feel you could put your hands on me, you gonna feel this fire. Y'all might remember that. But Rollo actually spoke on this situation as well. Kind of frustrated because blogs were already reaching out to him, trying to get him to do interviews and things like that. You could tell that he was also hurt by this loss right here because the two of them never really got to patch things up. You know, y'all listen to what Rollo said.
Listen, please stop calling my phone. You see what's going on the same way I see what's going on. And this do not feel good at all. My brother just got killed, and I can't even go slide for him. On top of that, me, his mama is real family. Like, this is our real poor family.
Alright, gang, we done with the train shit. Alright, back. So y'all see from that bitch, man, it's confusing as fuck, low key. So I guess a dude got shot, but it was from somebody else who wasn't even a part of what happened. They was trying to say that a girl had called and whooped the whoop, said that she was getting shot and drugged and abusive. It was all a lie. They never did find a female. So a hating ass female, probably said by a hating ass nigga, called the police to get the spot hit. Fuck 12, they some pussies. It's always gonna be fuck 12. Cause I know you gotta understand, 12, they be knowing what's going on a lot of times. You dig what I'm saying, Crip? They be knowing what's going on. But when they think this is their chance to be on some fuck shit, they be on their fuck shit. You get what I'm saying? Like when young Scooter said allegedly he broke his leg and the article came out, what's the chance of the police let that nigga die? You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have easily sent that nigga to the hospital. What's the chance that they let that nigga die? You get what I'm saying? These police are greasy. They nasty. You know what I'm saying? But fuck them, the setup. Man, these jealous ass, hating ass niggas and bitches, man, they see you doing good, man. You know what I'm saying? And they don't try anything in their power to be like, to fuck you over. You get what I'm saying? You can't trust these people, man, these days. Like, somehow Corey, if y'all remember, we was talking about Corey girlfriend, because all the drama, he got a new girlfriend. I guess they broke up. Crazy. See, somebody she involved. Man, you can't trust these people, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, I always say, sometimes people will just be around just to get info to set your ass up. You get what I'm saying? So, we got to always remember that, gang. People don't have the best interest for you. It's what can they get out of the situation? What can they get? If they can't get nothing from you, they would they would throw you away. You get what I'm saying? These people are not good people. You know what I'm saying? They can't help you. You can't help them. You're cooked. They would take what you got easily. You know what I'm saying? But you can't fall for the plot, man. Prayers out to young Scooter. His son crashed out. You know, he talking crazy. You know, which is good. You know what I'm saying? But prayers out to his family and kids, man. Sad day, you know, but hopefully we figure out what happened and shit, man. 39 passed away from a leg injury, running from the 12, you know, crazy shit, man. Hood, Northside, Crip, gang.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.